What's up YouTube, Never Lucky Pools here. Today I show you my budget water synchro and rank 4 spam deck profile. The main engine of this deck is Ice Barrier with level 4 water support. So yeah, let's get started. First off, we play 3 copies of Revealer of the Ice Barrier. It's the best starting card. You summon her, discard 1 card, and you special summon 1 Ice Barrier tuner on the field. And yeah, you can go easy to the level 9 or level 11 synchros for the Trishulas. Next up, I have 3 copies of Speaker of the Ice Barrier. If you control 1 Ice Barrier on the field, you can special summon her from your hand, so it's a level 4 special summon water. Next up, 3 copies of Silent Nettle. It's like the Speaker of the Ice Barrier. If you control water on the field, you can special summon it from hand. And same goes for the Silent Fish. It's a level 4 water special summon from hand. But you have to pay attention, he locks you from special summoning and any further monsters from your hand, so you play him at last. Next up for the tuners, a double copy of Geomancer of the Ice Barrier. You can play any other tuners, but I play in this deck both Geomancers. And 1 Hexer for the small Trishula, for the level 9 Trishula. And the Geomancer you need for the level 11 Trishula. Next up, 1 copy of Bezo Shark. If you don't open the reveal of the Ice Barrier, you can play this card. You summon him, effect, you get the Silent Fish on the field, and you can start with your rank 4 plays. Next up, the Chris Tree. It's a very good card, and you need it for the Dragite combination. I will show you later on. And for the last synchros, for the last tuners, we play double copy of Deep Sea Diva. It's a very good card. You summon her, effect, you get Hexer on board. Hexer dumps the Geomancer. Now you have 2 tuners on the field and 5 stars in total. If you have 1 additional special summon from hand, you have 9 stars. And you can go to the big Christian synchro guy who banishes 3 monsters from field and graveyard. For the spells, we play 3 copies of Medallion of the Ice Barrier, obviously for consistency. We want to see our reveal of the Ice Barrier as often as possible in our starting hand. Next up, 2 copies of Monster Reborn. The Freezing Chains are only allowed for the Ice Barriers, and Monster Reborn obviously for every monster. Next up, Wins Over the Ice Barrier. It's a consistency card. If you brick and you don't open the reveal of the Ice Barrier, you can take out any other Ice Barrier monster to special summon the revealer from deck. And yeah, it starts your combos. And you can banish this card from the graveyard, and you get 1 level 4 or lower water Ice Barrier to your hand bag. Next up, some draw power. You shuffle 2 water monster cards back to the deck and draw 3 cards. And yeah, next up, Cold by the Grave, obviously against hand traps. 1 instant fusion for the level 4 water support. And in the main deck, double copy of Dark Ruler No More. It's needed because this deck struggles against negates. If your revealer gets negated, it's basically over for you if you don't have the follow-up from the hand special summon. And yeah, most of the time you lose against 2 negates, so you need this card in the main deck. And I have also 1 copy in the side deck. And now for the hand traps, I play Triple Ash, obviously the best card to break your consistency of the opponent. Next up, Nibiru, double copy is enough, 3 is a bit too much. It's every deck special summons 100 monsters per turn, so you need to interrupt your opponent in some ways. And followed by a double copy of Imperm, obviously a very good hand trap. You need to negate the key cards from your opponent. Same goes for Effect Whaler, double copy, and 1 copy of Ghost Ogre. It's a very good one. And yeah, that's it for the main deck. For the extra deck, I'm playing 1 Big Trishula, the level 11. It's the best water synchro ever created. If you summon this card and the effect goes through, you basically win. If you summon this card, you can banish up to 3 cards on the field and it does not target. In addition, if this card is destroyed by battle or card effects, your opponent's board gets skill drained, also the attack points are halved, and you can special summon Trishula from your extra deck with 3300 attack. So this card is super, super strong. Next up, obviously the Trishula, the level 9, the small Trishula. The Christian, Like I said, with the Deep Sea Diva, you can summon him very easily. He banishes like the Big Trishula 3 cards on the field, but only monster cards. You can choose from graveyard and or the field. So let's say you can banish 2 from the field and 1 from the graveyard. It's a very strong card. Next up, the Dragite to negate. Obviously, spell and traps. You can summon him with the Christian combination. And yeah, the Christian combination requires you to play Formula Synchron and then Zectron. With Formula Synchron, I decided to play this card because I want to have some resources back to my hand. So if you summon him, you get 1 card back to your hand. And this one is needed for the level 8 synchro play. You synchro summon those both to the Dragite. I will show you later on. For the link monsters, the Halfie and the Marinces, obviously to special summon some cards. Let's say you have some tuners in the grave and you want to special summon them to go to your single place, you need this card. Now to the XYZs. 1 Bahamut Shark and 1 Totally Awesome, obviously the best rank 4 water monsters. Next up, the Stealth Kraken and the Kraken Spawn for the new combination. It's a very powerful combo, and yeah, this card is very good. It makes the whole field water, and yeah, decks like Heroes, for example, can't use the mask change because everything is water. They can only summon the acid, and yeah, no more Darklaw. It's a very good card, and as a quick effect, once per turn you can destroy 1 water monster on the field, so you choose obviously always the water monster of your opponent. Next up, 1 Silent Honor Arc. I need this card because most of the time your opponent will have super strong monsters which can't be destroyed with battle or card effects, and you have to have a way to get rid of these cards, and Silent Honor Arc is a very simple and quick way to get rid of the overpowered cards. And you can go to the battle phase, and after the battle phase you can overlap Zeus. And yeah, you steal the monster from your opponent and you have Zeus on board, so it's a very, very strong combination. And obviously for our instant fusion target, the water level 4 play. For the extra deck, I play 3 judgments for negation, obviously. And yeah, 1 strike, additional negation, 1 Imperial Order, spell hate, obviously, 1 red reboot against trap decks, 2 evenly matched against basically everything, 2 token collectors against Sword Soul, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster against back row, the 3rd copy of Dark Ruler No More. Like I said, you need to negate the opponent's board to be able to play. If you get 1 or 2 negates, you basically can't win because you don't have many follow-up plays with this deck. 1 Kaiju, the water one, because the revealer locks you into water, and yeah, it's a water one, you can still play him. And double a bird against many draw decks. Yeah, that's it for the deck. I will show you some simple combinations. Okay, for the first combination you need the reveal of the Ice Barrier on the field and 1 of the 3 special summons in hand. You normal summon the revealer and you, let's say, special summon the Sea Nettle. Then you go to the activate her effect, you discard 1 random card, you get the Geomancer on board. You go for your rank 4 play, the Bahamut Shark. Now you take the Bahamut Shark and the Geomancer, the tuner for the Christron, and he gets you the Chris tree from hand or deck to the field. And yeah, that's basically it for your turn. When your opponent is starting his turn, you can banish Christron to get your Formula Synchron. You draw 1 card, so you get some resources back. And yeah, next up you activate his effect to special summon 1 level 4 water monster in your graveyard. You go to the Synchro immediately to the Insectron. His effect activates, he can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. And you can chain Formula Synchron's effect for synchro play. And you go to the level 8 Dragite. Now you have 2 negates, you got 1 draw, so it looks quite nice. You can follow up in the second turn maybe with Trishula or the big Trishula or Christron. And yeah, that's it for the first combination. For the second combination, it's basically like the first combination. We need the speaker and the revealer in our hand and 1 additional special summon. It doesn't matter which one, so we assume we have this one in hand. We normal summon our revealer of the Ice Barrier, special summon both level 4 monsters. Now the effect, we discard 1 random card to get the tuner on board. Now we go to the XYZ play for the Bahamut Shark and the Totally Awesome combination. It's important that we detach the speaker of the Ice Barrier, because now we can banish her from the graveyard and we will get a 1 token on the field. It's level 1. Next up we go to the Christian play, both away to the graveyard and summon the Christian. Christian gets us the 3, like in the first combination. And now that's it for the turn. When the opponent starts the turn, we repeat the first combination. We banish the Christian, get the formula, get 1 draw. We get the special sum from grave, so the reveal of the Ice Barrier. We take the Christie out for the Insectron. And now we have the option to go either to the Dragite or the Trishula in the opponent's turn. So depending what your opponent is playing, you can go for Trishula, because we have now 9 stars, 8 plus 1. Or we can go for the Dragite. So it's basically the same combination, just this time we have the option to go Trishula in your opponent's turn. And that's it for the second combination. And for the strongest combination of this deck, you need 4 level 4 monsters. So let's say if you draw these cards, you can get the biggest combination. Or let's say if you only have 3 cards, you can also use some extender cards to get your 4th level 4 monster on field. And your end board will be this one. You will have Totally Awesome, Dragite and the Stealth Kraken. The Totally Awesome and Dragite combination I showed you in the first and second combo. And with the additional summon on the field with the 4 stars, you will also get the Stealth Kraken. So now you have 3 interruptions plus 1 draw. So it's looking very, very good for you. And yeah, you just can look at the first and second combination for the Totally Awesome and Dragite. And yeah, you know, you can get the Monster Reborn, summon level 4 on the field and go to the Stealth Kraken. So you have super negates on the board. And yeah, that's basically it for the deck. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a super funny deck. It's budget friendly. You don't need to spend like 500 euros for the deck. So you just need the 3 starter decks of the Ice Barrier and some support cards. The most expensive cards are like a Totally Awesome, the Bahamut Shark and the Christian obviously. But the other cards are affordable. And also the hand traps. You can drop the hand traps and include some other cards, but I wanted to make the deck a bit more competitive, so I included the hand traps. And yeah, overall I have a lot of fun with this deck. It's super nice to play, super easy to play. And yeah, if you enjoyed it, drop a like and subscribe. And yeah, see you in the next video. Bye!
Exodia! Obliterate!